Hello, welcome. Kelsey Lee here. We're going to get started shortly and work on our 20-minute yoga stretch sequence. This is going to target the psoas muscle today, which is responsible for lifting the leg forward and up when you're walking or running, and it can get very tight if you're sitting for long periods of time. So we're going to be improving our mobility in the joints and stretching these muscles out, including the hip flexors, with these certain exercises. If you can start balancing yourself onto a wall, so you're standing sideways, and bringing your foot up behind you and tucking the tailbone down towards the ground. So you're tucking the tailbone in underneath and pulling the foot up until you feel it in your quadricep, the front of your thigh. And holding your head up, tucking that tailbone, hold it for around about 30 seconds and go into the other side. This is a dynamic stretch because you're using muscles, and you're not holding it for a longer period of time. So it requires a little bit of strength and balance, especially for this one. So now we're going to come down onto the ground into a lunge position. If you can place one foot back behind you, if your knee is compromised in any way, place something underneath it to give you some comfort, and your knee is in line with your foot. You're pressing your pelvis down to the ground, so you might need to just take that foot forward a little bit, and then you'll feel a better stretch in the quadricep. We're going to be holding it now for 1 minute. When you hold the stretches, try not to move. You might feel yourself slowly opening up, and then you can press down a little bit, but we're not forcing the posture. If you feel any pain, come out immediately and lie down on your back until we go into the next posture. So the back of the foot is down, top of the foot on the ground. And then take the same arm up as the leg behind and stretch over. Come up and let's go on to the other side. Wriggle your foot forward so the knee is in line. Place the top of the foot down at the back and press the pelvis down to the floor. Slowly melt downwards and draw that foot back behind you. Taking the same arm up as the leg behind, you're going to take a stretch over to the side and away. And then come up and grab hold of a block. Placing the block between your feet at the back. Sit down onto the block. You might need something higher. You can place a bolster here or a pillow. drawing the feet in towards the block. Let's hold it for 1 minute. Sitting upright, you're stretching this area. Breathing deeply. And this is what we call Caesar position. We're going to be coming out of it with a bell and moving into a half frog. Half frog lying down on the ground with one foot coming up, so the knee comes up towards your chest. Right, so I'm going to be holding this for 2 minutes each side. Let me set my clock, and I'll tell you when to come out of it. So you're drawing the foot up towards you. And try the knee in line with the hip to begin with, and the foot is flexed down on the ground. Your other leg is straight at the back. Take your foot out wide. We're opening up into the groin. One minute to go. Taking that foot a little bit wider out to the side. You're going to quietly come out of the posture. So bring your legs together, push back and open the arms out. See, like this, sitting back into your hips, dropping your head down. Stretching this out and melting heart. Having a moment to relax into the posture. Opening up into the shoulder line, drop the head down. And slowly coming up, and moving into the other side. Drawing your other knee up towards the shoulder, chest. So if you can lie down onto your tummy, and let's do the whole thing again, drawing this knee up, flexing the foot, the side, take the foot outwards, and your other leg is straight behind you. And coming down. slowly coming up out of your half frog position, bringing the knees together. Come around to face me and tuck your toes in at the back, sitting back into the heels. If you find this too difficult to do and hold for a few seconds, place your feet flat down again and open the knees outwards. And then take a few rotations around with the chest, one way and then the other way. Down off your feet, give them a good hit. Onto the side of your hip and pull the top foot back behind you so you feel the stretch in the front quadricep. And let's hold this for 1 minute each side. You can look down at the floor as you're holding it. If you find it difficult to hold up in the air, you can always use a pillow between the legs to rest your thigh onto. We're almost there. If you can hold it for a few more breaths before we change over. Let's go into the other side. Take your time. Come onto the side of your hip. And again, you take the top leg back behind you, holding it onto the foot until you feel it in the front thigh. And now I'm leaning on my bolster to give me a little bit of height off the ground, so I can hold the leg a little bit longer. That might even work better for you. Almost there. Releasing, coming out of the posture. Great. If you have a pillow, you can place in front of you now, or your bolster, placing your elbows onto the bolster and taking one leg out at the side, open the knee up and then lean into it. And let's hold this for a few breaths, stretching the inside of the thigh, but also targeting this little muscle in the hip. And then coming up, leaning onto your pillow or bolster, stretching your arm out, keeping a lovely straight line from your fingers down to your foot. And quietly moving to the other side, taking your leg outwards and relaxing into the bolster. stretching out, lovely straight line. And relax. Using the bolster, you can push up now into a downward dog, lifting the hips upwards and pressing the heels down to the floor. Bend the knees if you want to. And then straighten up and press back. Our final posture is bridge pose, and I'd like you to lie down, have a block underneath your sacrum or lower back. You can place your bolster there if you have it, or your pillow, and lie down over the top and relax here. We're going to hold it for 2 minutes and then lift the hips up and down as our final dynamic stretch. Breathing deeply into the posture. You can rest your hands at the back, behind you, or down at the side. And your feet are hip distance apart. And trying to keep the ankles in line with the knees. Nice deep breaths here, in and out of your nose. And we have 1 more minute of holding time. Forty seconds to go. You can begin to remove your prop behind your back. Place it away. And now we're going to lift our hips up and down, squeezing into the buttocks and holding it for around about 10 seconds. Then slowly coming back down, and we'll do it again, lifting up, squeezing into the buttocks and holding. Slowly coming back down. And 1 more, lifting up, squeezing, really trying to lift the hips up as high as you can go. Targeting that psoas muscle, and then coming back down and bringing your knees in towards your chest. It's always lovely to finish with a bridge pose. And coming back around to our Caesar position where we started, you have now completed your 20-minute stretch sequence. All set for your day. I wish you health and happiness. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.